Come on, please. Yes! 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 Yes!
Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 17 of the 9 Dart Podcast, your one-stop shop for talking tungsten. Lorenzo and Josh back in the studio to discuss our big week in darts. How are you, Josh?
Good, absolutely. Thank you. How are you? Very well.
Yes, I'm doing very well. We'll get underway very quickly this afternoon. We're recording this on a Wednesday afternoon here in the Holmes-Glen Chadstone Campus Studios. We begin with the first thoughts, and this Premier League, it's getting clearer and it's getting narrower. It now seems like the next 2 weeks will be all about two men, Nathan Aspinall and Michael Van Gerwen, as we already have our first three confirmed to the 2025 Premier League Darts playoff night. They'll be happening in London there's only 3 nights left of this
Crazy.
Premier League.
It's actually gone sort of
unbelievable.
quick. It's actually gone sort of quick, but it's also felt long in the scheme of things. But
Yeah.
yes,
I felt like that last year's Premier League, which was the first one I started watching, that one felt like it was going on for a bit.
Yes, that's
But this
true.
one has
That's
felt
true.
like it's gone on quickly a bit. I don't know if it's other things going on in my life and doing this podcast that has done that. I don't know. Maybe that's been a part of it. But anyway, yes, we've only got 3 nights left. We were in Leeds last time out, and there was plenty happening. But before we do that, we will get to the crazy moments. We had a couple of Players Championship events. We'll talk about the winners later. But Dave Chisnall hit a 9-darter on a stream. He had very good Players Championship. The first one was, 15? And then Players Championship 16 that happened just overnight. Ross Smith hit not 1, but 2 9-darters. One in his first round match and one in his fourth round match.
Not on stream, however. I don't think. I searched for a good 15 minutes to find it, and I don't think it was streamed, which is very, very unfortunate. But again, he was in exceptional form. We'll get to him in just a moment. But yes, 2 9-darters, 1 in the first round against Dylan Slevin, and 1 in the fourth round against Chris Landman. There. Sensational form he's in.
Yes, he is. Ross Smith, he's always as someone you got to look out for as being a bit dangerous whenever you run into him, particularly on the floor. I'm actually going to try and find Players Championship Event 16, but yes, this is it. I'm on the archived one, just to see what board he was on, because if it wasn't, I think 1 through 4 was always the
1 to 4. Yeah.
Smith. Let's go to the end here. He was on board 13 for that first round match. Board 13 was his one, and they stay on it. Yeah, he was board 13 and board 7, so he wasn't on a streaming board. Streaming boards are usually 1 through 4.
Yeah.
No, he was not on your play on that. It's actually quite a good system, this PC board. You've got 16 boards, and then if you get to the last 16, that's the final of the board, and then they go down to 8, 4, 2, and 1. He won board 13. Which was when he won his last 16 match when he played Chris Landman and hit the 9-darter. So he wouldn't have been on stream, I presume, until the quarterfinal stage when he played Danny Noppert. So no vision of those 9-darters, but they did happen. You can go to Dart Connect to prove it. Going back to the Premier League, there are a couple of odd things that happen. I don't know what this guy, how much that cost and what paint thinner he was sniffing when he came up with that idea. And Stephen Bunting signed a fan's head. Sometimes more people get asked to sign all bunch of weird things. A person's head is probably right up there as the weirdest.
Probably one of the weirdest things. Yeah, he's bald as well, so I don't know how long that will stick for. But no, just 2 very funny moments. I think that one's just hilarious. He was just flushed it on TV, and Dobie's against Bunting there. He's up 4-2, and then cut to the leg being finished, and he's there. So 2 very funny moments. That's why we love the darts, don't we?
Yes, all sorts of weird things happen. Something that wasn't perhaps too much of a surprise was the fact that just like last year, Luke Humphries went to his hometown of Leeds. He wore a special shirt for the night.
Yes, I like it actually.
It's
not bad.
And I thought it was even improved from last year's one, which was pretty good. And he won the Premier League night. He played the third quarterfinal where he was a 6-4 victor over Michael Van Gerwen. He then won by that same margin against Stephen Bunting, who had a surprise win, which we'll get to later, and then a 6-5 win over Luke Littler in what was clearly the best game of the night. It sort of just droned along for those first few. There were some all right games there. The Bunting matches were semi-interesting, but that Humphries Littler fun, as per usual, delivering in fantastic style. But Luke Humphries getting a victory in Leeds, which he would be very excited to do, of course, being his home event.
Absolutely. Yeah, he was great all night. And we said it's probably going to be Luke versus Luke in the final. It sure was. They put on a show. But yes, congratulations to Luke Humphries, that is.
Luke Humphries, that is.
He's very good.
He's doing quite well.
Absolutely.
Yes, he picks up, that is his third nightly win for this year's Premier League. And I believe on the next slide, yes, we have
Officially
confirmation.
qualifies, yep.
So if you go to the Wikipedia, that they sum it up pretty well. In the queue, Luke Littler, Luke Humphries, Gerwin Price. They cannot be dispatched. They will all be going to the O2.
Yep.
There's still some possibility there, particularly if Humphries wins in the upcoming night at Aberdeen and Littler loses first round because they play each other in the first round as well. That first spot still could be up for grabs, remarkably.
Could be.
But nevertheless, they'll be there, as will go in Price. Sadly, I was meaning to do something, but I haven't. If you do go to that Wikipedia, you get the confirmation, the E next to the name of Stephen Bunting. He has been eliminated. He obviously plays the next 2 nights.
Yep.
And what I wanted to do was get the photo of that bucket hat, that Stephen Bunting bucket hat, and bid it goodbye as it slowly went out of screen there. And we might have had some sound effects. Doo-doo. Well, no bucket hat for me.
No,
that's probably a good thing. That was a very weird thing you promised me, that if you won the Premier League, you get me a bucket hat with a sort of animated Stephen Bunting head all over it, which would have been a weird gift. Anyway,
no money in my pocket.
That won't be happening. So, yeah, take that for what you will. Nevertheless, Littler, Humphries, Price in theory, Van Gogh and Arsenal cross, and even Chris Dobie is mathematically possible.
A fraction of a chance. But yeah, we sort of thought Littler, Humphries and Price were going to be there. They were going to be there pretty much. I still think definitely Littler. And we said Humphries.
Given Van Gogh and Aspinall play each other, well, I guess he might get in on...
they do play each other.
So someone's got to score points there. I'm struggling to work out how they don't dispatch... I would even put a line through Chris Dobie. I think even that's mathematically impossible.
If you go to the next slide, I can't work it out. To see the standings, you can sort of see it there.
So here's the standings. So we really should have gone to this. They haven't put the E next to Bunting's name, but they put the Q there. So Littler on top, 38 points, 5 nightly wins, record. Luke Humphries second, 31 points, 3 nightly wins. Price... 24 points, 3 nightly wins. Van Gogh, no nightly wins. Still, he's on 20. He's just ahead of Nathan Aspinall, 19. Cross 14. Dobie 12. And Bunting 10. Now, it is important to remember that Knights 1 is the first tiebreaker in that event. And if they are still level, we go 2-leg difference. Aspinall would hold a tiebreaker over Michael Van Gogh. And if they play that way, he'll hold both tiebreakers because he's up on leg difference as well. So that's where we stand in the Premier League at the moment. Fairly standard night overall, but the next 2 nights are going to be all about those Van Gogh and Aspinall matches, which is going to be the first one of the night.
It is the first one of the night.
And it's going to... Can we manifest a bit of chaos in the back end of this Premier League? We could see anything.
Well, I was going to say, it's probably a shootout for who gets it between MVG and Aspinall, but there is still
never know
a slight chance for Cross and even Dobie.
Yeah, Cross and Dobie, they play each other. I'm still trying to work out how it's mathematically possible for Dobie. I'm struggling to find a way. But definitely for Cross, if he goes on, if he wins the night, unbelievably, then all of a sudden, MVG's the last player without a night, if you can believe it.
Cross,
but even more so, he'd be in there. Yeah. So... he can get to 19, and if we can get let's manifest chaos here. If we can get Aspinall to 21, so he wins the game but then loses to either Price or Bunting.
Yep.
Van Gogh stays on 20, and then Cross wins the night from the other part of the bracket. Then we can get Van Gogh on 21, Aspinall on 20, Cross on 19, with 1 night to go.
I think so. Yeah, I think you're right.
That would be so. Aspinall would be in, and then Cross, but Cross would have the interesting one because he would have to play Price in that case, in the third versus 6. Yeah. So and then which would be, so there's ways to manifest a bit of chaos here.
There is.
Rob Cross basically needs to even if he reaches a final, that gets him to 17 points.
Yep.
It makes things still difficult, but he would still be within a shout of finals night. Right. So maybe we should predict a Cross nightly win just to get us going.
Maybe.
Right, that's where the Premier League stands. Christoph Ratajski, this 80. By the way, this bullseye on the 86 was one of the best balls I've ever seen. Right in the middle of the red button.
Millimetre perfect.
And this was such an important win for his match play ambitions as well. Christoph Ratajski winning Players Championship event 15, beating Dave Chisnall in the final 8-4 on a bull on an 86 finish. And he was 32. He's still 16 on that Pro Tour Order of Merit. He is 1,500 ahead of Ricardo Pietritscu.
Yep.
Who came up in Tom Scott's lateral podcast, bizarrely as well. Podcast was like, I didn't expect a darts question to come on here on this podcast. Anyway, that might be a subject for another time. Anyway, Christopher Ratajski, he's currently sitting within the world match play positions, and he's one of those players who can go on these sort of runs, particularly on the floor.
Yep.
It was a very strong performance from the Polish Eagle.
It was, yeah. Again, it's our positive surprise for a reason. So, yes, very, very surprising. Again, as you said, on the floor, he tends to potentially make these little runs. He has, not on the big stage necessarily, but in these Players' Championships events, he has gone far in some of them, but good to see him get the win against
It was
Chizzy
good
there.
to see him get a win and make things interesting in the world match play race, yes.
I think on the right there, that reaction says it all. He had a big pump up to himself
It was right in the middle of the ball, but he didn't seem to react immediately. He sort of waited for the referee to say game shot, and he went, ah!
Was it a fraction delayed?
It was a little bit delayed, which was funny. But
Very
he's
funny.
currently basically the 32nd man in the 32 field world match play, 32-man world match play field. As things stand at the moment, the cutoff for that is July 13th, so we're getting very close
Basically
there.
1 month today. Oh, sorry, 2 months today.
Yeah, 2 months today. It will be 1 month from yesterday, because yesterday was Tuesday the 13th. We're recording this Wednesday, the 14th of May. We might as well time code it. It's we just started just after 12:30 p.m. Right. Christopher Chaisky won Players' Championship 15. The aforementioned Ross Smith won Players' Championship 16.
Yep.
And he won, I think it was 24 legs
Just
in a
over
row.
20 legs. I don't know what the exact number was.
He won 6-0, 7-0,
incredible.
8-0 in his quarter semi and final. So that's 21. I think he won the last. I'm pretty sure I saw he won his last 3 legs of his last 16 match as well. So I think he's on a 24 straight leg winning streak, which is silly to say, but he did it. 8-0 over Brendan Dolan. It was good to see him get to a final.
Good to see him get runners up. Yeah.
Ooh, now I've just seen something, but I'm going to hold that thought for a second. So very strong performance there for Ross Smith. 2 9-darters and when you hit 2 9-darters in an event, you've surely got to win it, yeah?
Exactly. Well, he whitewashed Danny Noppert, Luke Woodhouse, and Brendan Dolan to take the title. So that's pretty impressive. Again, over 20 legs in a row. Got a fun fact for you. Smith became just the 3rd player alongside Phil Taylor MVG, yes, who would have thought, to land multiple 9-darters in the same Pro Tour event.
Yeah, that
Not bad.
doesn't surprise me. I think Mike Van Gerwen's one might have been 2 in the same game.
Was Ross's in the same game?
No, Ross's,
sorry,
they were first round, 4th round.
Chris Lemon and sorry,
Yeah.
I did say that.
Yeah, we mentioned that at the start.
Yeah.
So
Crazy.
Ross Smith, how many legs it was in a row? That is quite something, and something you don't see every day. But yeah, whitewashing Noppert, Woodhouse, and Dolan.
Yep.
And you mentioned there the fun fact with Smith. So he is currently sitting 15th on the order of merit in the World Match Play race. So he's currently set to be seen number 15. That means he would have to play Luke Lettler in the second round of the World Match Play, and that would be some sort of tie, should they both win in the first round, obviously. That is something to look forward that we might be able to look forward to.
Absolutely.
He's only just behind Peter Wright as well, so he might be able even to jump up to 14th and give Michael Van Gerwen a scare if they were to meet in the second round at Blackpool. Very interesting stuff there. Ross Smith winning Players' Championship event 16.
Yes.
Going back to the Premier League, Chris Dobie. This was a fun game to watch as a Bunting supporter because I didn't think he'd come back, and he needed a couple of breaks to throw, and he got one, and then the 1-2-1. We should have shown footage of it. I could not believe he actually. The one thing I don't like about Stephen Bunting, and I like everything about Stephen Bunting. The one thing I don't like is how he starts on the ball on the 1-2-1 because you hit the 25 or the ball, you've still got to hit a treble. I understand if it's a long range finish or a player isn't on a finish, that's fine.
Yep.
But on a makeable finish, I don't get why he does it. And clearly he thought of that because he went to the treble with his first start. Finally hit the treble, single 11 ball, bang. How did Chris Dobie lose this match?
I don't know. It's so true. Again, you can make it easy for yourself, but again, if the opponent's way back, then you've got yourself the time, the luxury to do that. But what a game!
Yeah, it was a great game. It was a bit of a flop from Dobie because I'm not sure exactly how he lost the game, but I was very excited to see Bunting get over the line.
Oh, I'm sure, of course.
Of course. I'm just going to say this now, even though it's not on the rundown, because I've just looked at it now. I have to release the thought.
Of course.
Today is May the 14th. We've already mentioned that is the cutoff day for the World Cup of Darts race.
Yes.
So
okay.
That means the order of merit at the moment, in terms of the seeded countries, are England 1, Wales 2, Netherlands are 3, but we know that's including Michael Van Gerwen. I presume that's including Michael Van Gerwen. It is. So if we go to Netherlands, they would become 40, which means it's going to be England 1, Wales 2, Scotland 3. Oh, they're tied with Northern Ireland. And I don't know how the PDC does a tiebreaker with that one, and that's important because it's 4th v 5th.
It is.
So it's either you get seen to the second round or not. So keep an eye on that one. Belgium 6, Germany 7, Republic of Ireland 8, Poland 9, Canada 10, Sweden 11, Austria 12, USA 13, Czechia 14, Croatia 15, and then Hungary and Finland are tied as well.
Okay.
At least on one way. They've got 2 ways to go. There's the ranking, where it's combined, excluding a countback, and then including a countback. I think Hungary should get in over Finland based on that. Australia is a non-seed, as we know. Yeah. So I just thought I had to say that. So there's a couple of interesting things there that we've never really seen before. So if my maths is right, the 4th spot is a current tie between the Netherlands and Northern Ireland, and I have no idea how they get separated. If they were doing it on what would be the logical thing to do, which would be the higher-ranked guy, then Danny Noppett's 17, then it would be Northern Ireland because Josh Rock's higher. But that's me coming up with something on the spot that I don't know if that's in the PC bylaws. I was a little bit disappointed by this because I'm liking what I'm seeing from Franz Enza on the European tour. But Nathan Aspinall basically, and I could even play the audio if I can find it for you.
Yeah, go for it.
He basically said, I don't like this guy. He's annoying. He does my head in. I was thinking of even perhaps editing it in, but the way the podcasts have gone in this studio over the last couple of weeks, I might just see if I can bump up the audio all the way to 100. This is the 180 call that... Again, I could have just played on my phone. Actually, I might do that.
Yeah, go for it.
Well, I'm coming up with all these great ideas. Well, have you seen much of Franz? And do you like?
No, this is the first
180 call.
First time I've seen him. Well, obviously, every referee has their own call, whether it's louder, longer, or it's a bit shorter and more quiet. They all have their own sound and their own tone to it.
It's very. I'm not even sure if I'm going to be able to imitate his because the way it is, it's a very.
Please don't.
No, I'm not going to.
I'll hear it from himself.
It's very. It's got a there's a very opera way to it. So here it is. Yes, it was.
Opera, all right.
It's very opera. Let's see if we can get Nathan Aspinall. He talked to a TalkSport, which is basically for any Aussies. It's basically. The UK version of SEN. Anyway, this is Aspinall.
What did you make of the new opera 180 singer? 180.
You know what? I was on a train and I was watching the game that he was shouting, and I was like, I actually don't think I could play if he was reffing. Nothing against the guy. I just don't like the call. So I hope he don't mind my games.
That guy might just be out of a job now. You've just said that.
I know. So don't sack him. But yeah, it's not for me that.
Yeah, so that's
a little disappointing.
Yeah, I thought that was a little disappointing because he's just doing the Euro tour at the moment. He's not anywhere else. I'd like to see him come down to Modus. So I thought that was a bit odd of a thing to say for Nathan Aspinall. Now I want to see the PDC. They have to schedule him for every Nathan Aspinall game from here on out.
Absolutely.
They have to make sure that Franz is doing all the Nathan Aspinall games he can now. You've invited that, Nathan. A little bit disappointing because I like that 180 call. It's a bit different.
Oh, that's the first time I've heard it. So, yeah, those notes sort of hold for a little bit, don't they? That sort of opera.
It's very opera.
Yeah, that's a good way of putting it. So,
right.
Everyone has their own call.
Yep.
I don't mind it.
I think it's fantastic. All right, let's get to the great debate that we're talking about this on the Online Darts Live Lounge. First up. Oh, no, that's the... I don't want the video. No. Hey, I've gone too far. Yeah, we'll get to Darius later, and we'll get to these guys later. Here we go. Right. On the development tour, I don't know, you might be able to run through the results if you can, Josh, but Cam Cabtree won a development tour.
Yes, I think
that's a development tour.
Yep.
Event.
Yes, he did. Event 15.
We're tying this in with the latest news, sort of.
Yes, so I'll go through the results with you. He won 5-1 against Bo Greaves. Then he won 5-2 in the semi-finals against Moreno Blom. And then a whitewash 5-0 win against Jensen Walker in that one. Yep. So he had a very good weekend, to say the least. Only dropping 3 legs for the whole day. For
an organisation that is very, oh no, toolcard holders, you can't do this, you can't go that, you can't go to the lakeside, you can't go to Modus. All of a sudden, they're like, oh no, if you're a development tour player, and weirdly, I don't like the definition of develop because I think you can get up to like 23-year-olds playing on this tour, which is a bit odd. A 21 would surely be a bit dividing line, or even 18. Yes, Bo Greaves is currently leading the Development Tour Order of Merit. But after that, you've got Cam Cabdry, who's a tour card holder. Owen Bates, who's a tour card holder. I think Dominic and Sebastian are also tour card holders. And Van der Velde used to anyway. For an organisation that's so clear on no prize money if you lose first round, nothing on, you can't do anything else. To have these guys take, and to be clear, this is nothing against Cam Cabdry or Owen Bates or anyone else. It is they are playing to the system they are being told to play to, which is all you can do. It just doesn't sit well with me that these things are all lining up. I don't like it in the weirdest way, because I'm here looking at DallasRankings.com. I'm going to go 21. To the tour card race.
He's 21.
Yeah.
So
okay, so
it's around that age you sort of said.
Okay-ish.
Yep.
Though,
well, actually, I'll ask you this. What age do you think should be the cutoff? 21. Yeah, so he's just
here's the weird thing, right? Owen Bates is currently a tour card holder. He's currently sitting 80. He's in the second year of his card, and he's currently
sitting third. Yeah.
No, on the 2-year Order of Merit, the main Order of Merit.
The main one.
He's currently on the post World Championship table. He's currently sitting 84th, which means he would lose his tour card. But because he's allowed to play on the development tour and earn himself a bit of extra cash that someone like Simon Whitlock, if he was still around, obviously couldn't do, he'll get his tour card back by getting up an opportunity that other guys don't. So we seem to have this problem where we've got mess with when you throw the Women's Series, the Challenge Tour, where all these guys are throwing, and it throws up problems with the World Championship qualification, because if a guy gets in on 2 or 3 different methods, it becomes hard to work out which one do you count. Do you go to the next guy on this one? It's getting a bit messy here. And if the PDC model is particularly tour card holder
disjointed,
I think you're probably, from a PC perspective, not from Crabtree's perspective, you're probably taking away some opportunities, I think, from other guys. So development tour really should be 21 flat. Well, I say 21 perhaps. If you turn 21 in the year of, that's probably the best way to go about it, and that's probably your last one. Maybe even 21 going 22. It depends on how exactly you want it. I mean, you can never do it perfectly.
No, true.
Because you might be able to comp people who are 364 years apart onto the same age. Nevertheless, I don't think tour card holders should be really involved in this. No, they changed it for like if it was. It used to be basically anyone, and then I think they changed it to the top 32 or the top 64.
Yep.
You can't go back. If you start the year in the top 64, you can't go back to the development tour. So it's not for every tour card holder either, which makes it weirder.
No. So the top age it says between 16 to 23. So he's 24 tournaments split across 5 3-day weekends in 2025.
And that gives you some opportunity to earn some extra cash. So Cam Cabdry right now, 10,875 pounds on the Development Tour Order of Merit
sitting
for this
ahead
year.
of Owen Bates,
that
is
is
3. Yeah.
And I mean that's more than individual tour card holders in their first or second year earn this
their
year.
Actual money. Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, again, he is just being told what to do.
Yeah. I'm nothing against Cam.
Of course. But is it the right system? That's what we're questioning.
Yeah, it's the system. It's the system.
It's
and I don't think it's the right system.
Yeah, I agree. So, I think ultimately we can say they should cut the age down to 21.
I think cut the age down to 21 and say if you're a tour card holder, you can't do anything else. Or if you do want, I'd cut it down to 21 anyway.
Yep.
But if they're happy for tour card holders to be on the Dev Tour, then they also have to be fine with tour card holders going to the Challenge Tour or going to MODUS or doing something else. Especially when something like MODUS pays you. Regardless of how well you play. I like the PDC, which only pays you if you win.
Yeah, exactly. No, it's a good point. Is it the right system? We don't know.
I know it isn't.
We don't think so. I mean, it's a tough one. It's a tough one to sort of pinpoint and sort of look around it. But yeah, I think for the general gist of things, it's probably not the right thing. I think it could be better. That's what we're sort of getting at.
I have a future star this week, Ben Townley, and I'm actually going to flip over to the next. I had another slide in here with the JPL Power League. Why is that gone? I don't know why that's gone.
Oops.
Is it further down? Did you drag that down?
Let me put it back up.
If I flick over to the next slide now, will I be able to see another slide which says future star? Did you delete it?
Hang on. No, you will now. Go ahead.
There we go. That's it. I don't know what happened there. One or both of us, probably both of us, moved it down. Anyway, Junior Power League, I only bring this up because week 4 is this coming week, so we'll be talking next week. And Ben Talley's the highest ranked guy that we haven't talked about yet, so he's currently sitting 4th. on that league with 4 points behind Nankervis, Branley, and Self. So that's not a bad position there to be seen fourth among those. I see
not
Chris
bad at
Mason is going to be involved in sort of the production, maybe a bit of commentary with the JDC this coming week.
Yep.
So Townley is one to look out for as we move forward in the Junior Power League as part of the JDC and their great stuff they're doing there.
Absolutely.
And so we'll keep an eye on both the boys and girls events this week. Right, we now move on to the always chunky latest news segment.
Of course.
And again, you might have... Did we... hang on. You were going to talk about the Euro Tour 7A Tour cutoffs. Anyway, Lithuania and Finland
yes.
Well, they've qualified there. Basically, I think we've got all the
we have the
all
40
the pairs.
Now. Yep.
The 80 players, the 40 pairs. We've got them now. Pretty sure.
We do. So, yeah, there's quite a diverse lineup from Australia to China to Lithuania, Finland. It's very diverse, which is good to see.
It is. According to the Wikipedia here, they've got Northern Ireland ranked 4 and Netherlands 5, and Hungary 16 ahead of Finland, or whoever was that other team in the... I say other team, the other pairing. Now I think... I keep getting rid of it. No, you know why? Because I've moved it to players, not seeded country. Yeah, Hungary over Finland. Yeah, so... Yeah, we've got those pairings confirmed, and Wikipedia details them quite nicely. Looking forward. So the World Cup of Darts, I think, is a bit earlier than last year. It's the 12th to the 15th of June, so we're only about a month away.
Just under a month.
Last year, I think it was the back end of June, I reckon.
Yeah, I think so.
It was the 27th to the 30th of June.
Okay.
So they've moved it a couple of weeks this year, which is thank goodness for that.
Not complaining.
Not complaining at all. England are the defending champion, but only
Yep.
half of the team will be there as Littler has dispersed Michael Smith in the
Yes.
rankings, and there's no way he wasn't going to pair up with Luke Humphries for this very important event. World Cup of Darts. The England will be the shortest price favourite you've ever seen. They'll go off at wing odds.
Favourite? Yeah,
Um,
you think so?
But we will see. I'm looking forward to seeing when we get the draw in. We'll do plenty of talking about that coming forward.
I'm sure.
The only spot that is listed is the Italian pair. Michelle Toretta still will be representing them, but we don't know his partner according to Wikipedia. So those are the only. That's really the only spot. We've got 79 of the 80, which is pretty good. Yep. So and Lithuania and Finland confirmed their pairings and their combinations for the World Cup of Darts, which we look forward to. The New Zealand Darts Masters is going to get a title sponsor in Sky City.
Yes, it is. So, new sponsor, massive boost for New Zealand Darts. Obviously, they're going to have their stuff going on there. The New Zealand Darts Masters, which is coming up. When is that?
August.
It's in the back end of the year usually. Yep. So, big boost for New Zealand Darts, which is
pretty
fantastic.
sure it's after hours.
Yes, after hours. So, big boost for darts in New Zealand for the Kiwis.
Yes, good to see brands get around sponsors. Brands get around and sponsor these events. Was trying to put that in the right order. Right, 2026 World Seniors Darts Championship lineup continues to go through. Last week we had Simon Whitlock up there. Now Beaton, Fitton, Oche, Duff, Gulliver, Van der Voort, and just this morning in the last few hours, Martin Adams
Wolfie is here.
has been confirmed for the 2026 World Seniors Darts Championship that will take place at the Circus Tavern in Purfleet. We'll keep updating you on there. Plenty of big names in seniors darts already guaranteed a spot there. Here we go. So you move them further back.
Sorry.
Euro Tour 7 and 8. I actually need to double check exactly what event is coming up this week. But do you have something to say on this, Josh?
Yes, so we know
you talk.
Each Euro Tour features 48 players. So now this is where it comes into here, the Euro Tour holder qualification. So there's 16 players that qualify via the Pro Tour Order of Merit. We know that. 10 players qualify through the Tour Card Holder Qualifiers, which is this. Shortly before the event. So these were the two events that happened. So 4 host nation qualifiers, 1 Nordic and Balta qualifier, and 1 East European qualifier. So the winners from these first round matches go to face the second 16 seeds in round 2. So
being the top 16 in the world, or at least top 16 who have accepted their invite. So the Euro Tour Event 7 is the Dutch Darts Championship, which will happen not this week, but next week in Rosmalen. And then Euro Tour 8 is the European Darts Championship happening in Leverkusen, which will occur the weekend after the Premier League playoffs. So, and that Euro Tour 7 and 8 qualifier will happen in in the coming. Pretty sure in the coming hours over the
So this will
over the night to the 14th, 15th.
tomorrow. Yeah.
Yes.
Our
So
time.
it is important to play well in these qualifiers.
It
and
is.
Get yourself to the European Tour
Absolutely.
and get yourself a bit more opportunity to earn some money and get the sponsors on your shirt.
Yes. Plenty of
a bit
sponsors
more
around.
aware.
Yeah.
To public. So these are important matches, even though they're on stream, we don't see them, we only get the results.
Yep.
And sort of breakdowns of that sort of thing. So that is important, and we'll see how we go get along and who gets through those qualifiers. Now we head over to MODUS. An international pairs week was won by the Netherlands duo, the Dutch duo of Jimmy Bansky and Danny van Tripe.
What a weekend it was. Sorry, what a week, rather, it was. It was a fantastic success. Fantastic.
It was.
Love watching pair darts. We'll see Australia play in just under a month in Frankfurt. Yes, so can't wait
and
to
hopefully
see.
an Australian pair in the MODUS Super Series international
Yes.
pairs when they do the next one later
Which is
in the year.
August, I think.
I think
so. Yep. So Jimmy Vansky and Danny van Tripe were the winners. They were very good across the week. They're a great duo. They're celebrating jubilantly over there with the crowd in front of them. And yeah, it was just a great event. We love pair darts and good to see them get the win.
Yes, it wasn't the only big thing that happened at MODUS. The Influencer Dutch Showdown 4 occurred. That was the lineup.
Yep.
And they were the winners.
Peter Wachuiri, our man from Kenya, and Ollie Howard from the Bull Hitters. I mentioned
Ollie last week.
Ollie Howard, he is better than just a player that is a influencer. He's better than an influencer. I'm telling you. He played MVG in a couple of games, just some little exhibition 501 stuff on
a few
TikTok.
exhibitions during the week as well. I saw.
Yes,
Stephen
I did
Bunting
see.
was at
Yes,
one of them.
Yes. So
And MVG.
he's definitely better than a
mere influencer.
mere influencer.
We might be seeing more of him. Is that what you're saying?
I hope so. Yeah, I hope so. Maybe he could even feature on MODUS. Who knows?
He might.
I'll tag him
In
so
the
he can
genuine
get some
MODUS.
love. But yeah, he definitely needs some love along with all the bull hitter guys. So that was a great weekend. So great day actually, and love seeing Peter Wachuiri. Big smile for Kenyan darts. Isn't that fantastic?
Yes, we want to see as much Peter Wachuiri as possible. He was part of the international pairs, part of Kenya, and he's won this Influencer Dutch Showdown.
Yes.
Right, Series 11, just like that. We were talking about Series 10 this entire time. Now we get to Series 11. Week 1, and well, there's some good names in here. Jeff Smith, Mervyn King is back. He hit a 180 with his first visit of the
Who would have thought?
of the week. So the 180 column is ticking over pretty quickly. So they're the guys that sort of headline Group A, like Samantha Mullins, Group B, Ashley Coleman, Group C. Here we go. Right, we have table. I'm not sure if this is the full one. I'm not sure why there's only 9 games. I don't know if someone pulled out or something.
I couldn't find anywhere, but this is the most updated we've got. We've got Mervyn King, Jeff Smith, and Adrian Gray tied.
Yes.
On 10 points. And
three-way tie, you don't see that.
Dustin Straver, Tommy Morris, and
That's
David
all, that's
Evans, all on 8.
I've only just processed this properly. I've really only looked at this for the first time. Top 3 on 5, next 3 on 4. Well, David Evans is in a good position to, and he's only, and again, you look at the leg difference, only -5. So, not in the best position, but with a few wins. David Evans is still in the chance of going straight through to finals night, straight through to Saturday.
Incredibly.
This is the most remarkable table I've ever seen at MODUS.
There's 1 day of action, obviously, today, Australia time. So, what? This isn't, I've actually never seen this like this
I've
before.
never seen, a table quite like that,
It only just sort of clicked into me.
I hope now that that those matches went the way, so everyone was on 5 and 5. That would be amazing.
That? Oh, wow. Could you imagine that? And then we go down to the 9-dart shootout, I'm pretty sure, to decide Group A. Couldn't that happen?
A 6-person 9-dart shootout would be insane.
Imagine the madness.
If everyone...
Wow.
Well, it wouldn't happen because if it's 15 games, then you got to have... Well, you can have a 3-person 9-dart shootout, which we have seen before.
We have seen that before.
On Saturdays.
Yep.
That would be bizarro but your leg difference would also come into play and head-to-heads and that sort of thing. But that is quite the remarkable table. I've never seen the like. One thing that we're hoping to see though, Josh, is AD. Any news on Jackpot?
Unfortunately,
he was supposed to be appearing sometime in May, so that means either next week or the week after.
2 weeks.
That's the only thing that could be left.
Come on, Jackpot, where are you? Where are you? Everyone wants to see you. So there's 2 weeks to go. Well, hopefully, or less.
It's got to be 2 or 3. It's got to be.
It's got to be week 2 or 3. So we can't wait to see. Hopefully,
you're going to send me the thing. I can already half imagine the trailer that MODUS Social Team's going to make. He's going to be peering through smoke. There's going to be old Sydney Waddell commentary. It's going to be amazing.
That's where it's at. Oh, wow. We can't wait to see him. So hopefully he keeps his promise and see him within 2 weeks.
Hopefully. So that's exciting. So there's so much going on at MODUS. They do such a great job there. It's good quality darts down at Portsmouth. All right.
Something that wasn't great quality.
That is the worst. All right.
Worst segue.
We actually haven't put this down on the rundown, so I forgot this was in
sorry.
here. I'll do that. You talk because you won.
I did.
With a 39 average, which is really poor for you.
It was poor for me.
Do you know? But here's the thing, right? That first 9 average is much more closer to where we probably stand, 54 versus 44. But that checkout percentage really hurt us. I was very happy, and the thing is, right, I was very happy with my 56 single 20 double 18. Double 18 is my favorite double. I try and leave it at all costs. Even though I couldn't hit double 9 to I must have missed like 10, 12 match darts or something.
I think you did. And I hit it.
I should have won this game. So
it's beautiful.
I had the advantage of, you know what I was going to say? Whoever is the loser of the most recent match should have the advantage of throwing first in the next match. Just make it a little bit difficult for the winner. So
that's what we were saying.
As in the foreseeable future, I will be starting every match. And it's also better because half the time when Josh puts together a match on Dark Counter, he forgets that we play best of 5, not best of 3.
Sorry,
so we played a match beforehand, which was best of 3, which was
won.
way better quality. Yeah,
it was.
It was way better quality. We both averaged above 40.
2-zip, by the way.
I had
over 40, 45
yeah.
even. It was relatively good.
It was relatively good.
This was shocking.
This was shocking. The doubles hurt us badly. What's that? A combined
5 for 68 on the checkouts combined.
Yeah. So 60. So that's 63 missed darts double.
Wow.
So 63 missed darts double.
Those are the averages there. Not pretty. I was on a 180, which you didn't see.
Now this is the thing, right? So the last leg begins, and all I'm focusing is all I want to do is focus on my game. I score like 45 or something pathetic. I was trying to hit at least a ton. I put in my 45. Now the way I've set it up, I've got a camera here, and then facing it. If the dartboard's here, I'm throwing here, and the camera's set up maybe about there. So and it's actually elevated. So it's about there. Sometimes I will watch the screen, but because Josh's camera doesn't work half the time, and because I'm just trying to keep within a flow, I went back and stood where I went to throw, which is there with the camera here.
Yeah.
Tunk. And then I hear, I've got a feeling, which people will know from Waymardel's commentary, Adrian Lewis 9-darter from about 9 years ago, which he was doing with David Croft, of all people. And yeah, it was a 140. He was very frustrated.
I was so close.
I didn't see any of it. I can only assume it was amazing. And
there was crickets. I'm like, hello, are you alive? Surely I was reacting to that.
I was trying to focus on a leg that I lost after missing many match darts.
Anyway, but good fun as always, and
we'll do it again.
We'll keep doing it,
and we're going to actually add it to the rundown here, so I remember that we've got it here. We'll do it after the latest news. We found a spot for it. Last week it was sort of in the middle of a bunch of stuff. This is a good spot for it, right? That happened yesterday. Something that will happen in the coming days is the Premier League. Before we get to that, though, here's the spreadsheet. Luke Little has played 32 matches. I know they played a lot, but
wow.
Gee whiz. 5 against Aspinall, 5 against Cross, 6 against Van Goen and Humphries. So 6 is the maximum. There's quite a few. There's a few 6s there in that Littler column and row. I don't think there's any others. There's a couple of 5s there. Aspinall, Littler have played each other 5 times.
Dobie, I mean, that makes sense. 2
Price,
times.
5 times. And there's still quite a few 2s there.
Yeah, there's a lot of 2s.
Aspinall, basically in the bunting column because you lost so many games early. There's a few 3s and a few 4s in there.
4, yeah, the 4 against Humphries, 4 against Littler.
So when we get to after night 16, I might compile them. So the biggest takeaways, what we saw as much over the course of this Premier League. But we go to Aberdeen.
Yes.
No home event for. I think we've gone through everyone's home event now.
Yeah.
Because we've only got Sheffield after this. No Scottish players.
No.
And hopefully the Scottish crowd will be better behaved than the last time we went there in night 2, if you remember that. Right.
Not great.
Let's go through a Michael Van Goen and Nathan Aspinall
in
the most important match of the whole night. Way more important than anything else. Price bunting doesn't matter. Even the Lokes might not matter that much.
Yeah.
Van Goen or Aspinall, Josh. Who will it be? Can we manifest a bit of chaos?
The Dobie Cross game is also important, which we'll get to in a moment.
The Dobie Cross game could be important
Van
for Rob.
Goen and Aspinall.
I'm going to look at the league standings just to make myself... okay, yeah, I know where I'm going to go.
Boy, oh boy, this... I want Aspinall to win. So we'll go Aspinall 6-4.
All right, so I was thinking the exact same thing. We'll go Aspinall 6-4. Gerwin versus Stephen.
Well, I mean, Price has already qualified, so there's nothing really left for him. But I think it'd be good to see Bunting get the win. So we'll go another close one. I'll give Price 3 legs on Bunting, 6-3 to
All
Bunting.
right, I'll go 6-5, Stephen, just for the heart. Dobie Cross. This could be interesting for Rob.
Yes, it could be. It could be.
Mind you, if Nathan wins, it doesn't matter who wins because he's going to be a long way back. But he really needs to win this.
If Rob Cross has any chance of qualifying, he has to win
if
this
he
game.
loses this, he's out.
Pretty much, yeah. It's
he's
do or die for him, really.
Because Van Gogh and Aspinall play each other. He's automatically out if he loses this match.
Yeah,
regardless of the Van Gogh and Aspinall result.
Has to win.
Will he win
Has
it
to
though?
win.
That's more important. That's
Will
the
he win
question.
it? I think he will.
I agree.
I think he will. How close will it be? 6-3 to him.
I'll go 6.
I am.
Look at 6-2. I'll go a bit more one-sided for voltage.
Okay.
We usually go relatively close. I'll go a little more one-sided. 6-2, Rob.
And
then the Lukes.
Yes.
Who will it
Lukes.
be?
I mean, look.
Will they rinse or repeat?
It can go either way.
Yeah, I've got my
guys.
prediction.
Okay. We'll go. I think off the back of Humphries' form last week, I'll keep continuing that. We'll go a very close one, 6-4 to
All right,
Humphries.
I'm going to go 6-5 to whoever wins the bull in the back room. I will, for the purpose of this podcast, I will predict Luke Humphries 6-5. But if Littler wins the bull, I think he'll win 6-5. If Humphries wins, I'll go 6-5 to whoever wins the bull.
Well,
whoever throws first
we
in the
don't know
odd-numbered
that.
legs. We don't know yet. That's the problem.
So
I changed my call. 6-5.
know-
Let's go 6-5 Humphries.
until we know who's throwing first, obviously.
Yeah, I don't know to get on stage because they don't show it most of the time.
No.
Anyway, based on
Okay.
whatever we just did, can we manifest the most chaos going into?
Well, Chaos would suggest Aspinall winning over Bunting, and then Chaos from the bottom end would suggest Cross winning over Humphries. Will it happen, though? That's the question. To lead into that final.
Yeah. I got mine.
You got yours?
I got mine. You got yours?
Yep.
All right.
Okay.
I'll go first.
I'll
Yeah.
go. Okay. Okay. We're going Aspinall over Bunting.
Yep.
And then we'll go.
Oh, you're doing it. Oh, I've just got my final.
Yeah. No. I just want to do it to sort of
Build it up.
build,
All right, sure.
to
Fine.
sort of build up this chaos. So Aspinall over Bunting, and then we'll go Humphries over Cross. Sorry, Cross. Aspinal v Humphries. Aspinall to keep his chances alive. 6-5 in the last leg decider. An absolute thriller in Scotland.
All right. I'm going to manifest chaos because I don't want to see Aspinall go too far in. So I'm going to go Luke Humphries to win again and keep chances he'd be within 2 points of Littler. So that first spot would still be alive. He's going to win the final 6-3 against Stephen.
Okay. There you go.
That's me manifesting some chaos.
I think over the course of when
But
we've done this
anything
podcast,
could happen.
our predictions, I don't think they've been really close. I mean, I haven't tracked it. You know what?
We need to go back. Maybe you do that. I've been tracking the individual matches played. You go back and see.
Yeah.
I predicted
idea.
Humphries to beat Littler last week in Leeds, so I got that.
Okay. I will go back. And have a look in my spare time. When
There's a lot of Bunting plays win for the first time in
Yeah.
in the early episodes.
I'll
Anyway,
go back to the last 10 minutes and I'll find it all and write it down. And it won't be a problem.
right. Darts Archive, I believe, is the next thing. Yes. All right. So
Yes.
now we're going to try and go back to what I planned to do. This is an odd-numbered episode, which means I'm going to do it. And then in even episodes, you're going to do it, Josh, if you can get your act together. Anyway.
I did one. Come on, man.
Yeah, he has actually got one ready for next week.
Thank you.
I will. We've already got that ready to go. Anyway, in the last episode,
Yes.
Peter I played Kim Hybrex, and Kim Hybrex won in the last leg decider, both averaging over 100 in the European Darts Grand Prix. This was off the back of the 2025 European Darts Grand Prix that just occurred a couple of weeks ago. You haven't seen what I've done, have you?
Sorry?
Have you seen what I've chosen for this week's Darts Archive match?
No.
No, you have not.
No, that's right, because I was looking at the other ones.
You were
I
looking.
haven't
You were
seen
looking
it
up
yet.
at the
Yeah,
MODUS
yeah, I haven't
section.
seen
So
it yet.
this week
Who was it this
we're in Aberdeen, Scotland.
Yes.
This week. So there's only one
Ooh,
match
Scottish.
to go to. Can you guess which one it is?
If it's got Scotland in it, then
Yes.
Has it got the Highlander?
It is the
it's got
Highlander.
the Highlander
Big
in it.
Hendo playing Michael Van Gogh in the 2019
yes.
Premier League darts.
Makes sense.
Don't all the results. So we're going to Aberdeen. So this is one of the great Premier League games. I watched this morning.
Boy.
The crowd was going nuts. I love how they include this clip includes the walk-ons.
Yep. Love that.
This was during the Challenger era of the Premier League in 2019-2020. They invited a one-off challenger to play a Premier League guy. They didn't get any points, but they got a bit of extra money. It's best of 12 legs, so keep in mind that it could end a 6-6 draw. draw. John Henderson is the challenger. The home crowd is crazy. There was no problems with the crowd this night. They were electric. They were throwing up beer every time. Hendo hit a 180 and he hit quite a few. It's full of drama. There's plenty of missed doubles and 180s, and it comes to a great crescendo finish. It was the last game of the night, so the crowd was really into it. This is a great game. Mongo Mango and John Henderson, 2019
I just saw
Premier League.
MVG is on a 9.
MVG, he actually, I reckon
Will
he
he get
starts.
the 9? I don't know.
I reckon
We'll have
he
to watch it.
starts most legs in this match is with 3 trebles, at
Yeah.
least in the second half of this match. It was ridiculous. Anyway, that is for you to look forward to over the next week. Unfortunately, time is out for us, Josh. That's all we have time for. Make sure to follow us on Instagram as well. Make sure to check out
And TikTok too. We have a
You've started
Nine
that.
Dart podcast on
now.
TikTok.
I did want to make a announcement.
Yes.
I am going to try. I'm a very busy man,
Try.
as you know.
Of course.
I've got many different projects going on, but I am going to try and see if we can put up these podcasts as an audio only
Yes.
with the RSS
On
feed.
Spotify.
We've got a
Hopefully.
Gmail account now that we can sort of do that. I've been meaning to get into it. I haven't actually done it yet. Hopefully, in the next few weeks, you'll be able to listen to this on proper podcast providers.
Audio
You can already do
platforms,
so
yep.
with the Crumbs and I believe Footy Chat as well.
Yep.
Footy Chat will be coming up right after this, hopefully. The last few weeks have been a bit disaster with Footy Chat. It didn't record audio 2 weeks ago and it wouldn't process on YouTube last week. Anyway, fingers crossed all goes well. Thank you very much, Josh, for sitting down
Pleasure
with
as
me.
always.
We had
Thank
a
you.
good week. We're going to have, next week, it's going to be a great crescendo to Group A in Modus.
Yep.
We're going to have,
Hopefully
we
Jackpot's
know,
there.
yes, hopefully Jackpot will be there. He might be there next week.
Hopefully.
We're going to have the Sheffield Premier League night, which is going to be very interesting because we'll know what players will need to do to, players. I said Van Gogh and Aspinall.
Qualify, yeah.
They'll play each other, and then the winner of that match will probably make finals tonight, almost
You think?
certainly. Maybe Rob Cross will have something to say if he goes on a run
Now it's like
in
chance.
Aberdeen.
Very smart.
We'll probably bring up the World Cup of Darts again because
Of
we just
course.
love that event and
Of
love
course.
pairs darts. We've got the JDC Power League, so I'll keep an eye on that, the Junior Power League. There's no Euro Tour All Players Championship events, so it's all about the Premier League pretty much for the most part in PDC darts, and there's a few other things going on in Plant Darts as well. Right, we'll wrap it up there.
Thank you.
Like and subscribe if you haven't already to Extra Time. Thank you for all the recent subscribers who've helped us grow the channel.
Yes, thank
and
you.
we will see you next time. Josh will have a darts archive match for us for episode 18.
I've got it.
This has been the 9 Dart Podcast.